Hello and welcome to another video. So today I am finally doing a very requested video, and that is my 10 all-time favorite book series video. Now, I actually tried to stick with books when doing the list for this video, but I simply could not because I enjoy so much manga and graphic novels and comics that it just didn't seem like my true list if those weren't depicted on it. So I said, screw the rules, screw the title of this video, and I'm just gonna do my 10 favorite series of all time. Because, there's other things in literature beside books, and I really enjoy them, so I think that I have to talk about them. Okay, very quick, a little disclaimer before I start. These aren't, in a very particular order. I try to order them depending on how much I love them now and how much I loved them when I read them, but it was very hard, so some of them are just random. The important thing is that they're in the top 10. So let's go. Number 10 is The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. When I read this book, I absolutely fell in love with it. I hadn't loved a book this much since I'd read the Percy Jackson series, and since this was one of my first young adult books I ever read, I was so happy to have found this. I was in love with every single character. I loved all of them. I loved the world and the story. This book was just amazing. And then the second book, Never Fade, was also amazing. It had me on the edge of my seat the whole way through. I was laughing and crying along with all the characters and was just so happy. The one downside to this book series is the last book, In the Afterlight. I still loved it, but just not as much. I don't know if it's because the initial excitement had worn off a little by then, but I don't know, it just wasn't as good as the first and second book. But I still hold these books very near and dear to my heart because they kind of introduced me to YA dystopian. The Hunger Games did that, but I like this one so much better. So I don't know, this one is just so nostalgic for me. I think I reread them last summer or the summer before that, and I still really liked it. I reread it because I wanted to watch the movie, knowing if it was going to be a good adaptation.
It really wasn't that good, but
This is still a good book. Coming in at number 9 is The Aurora Cycle by Amy Kaufman and Jane Kristoff. Now, I didn't think this one would be on the list because it's pretty recent, but I couldn't not have it in here. The first book, amazing, 10 out of 10. I don't know if it's partly because I used the audiobook to read it, but it was so incredible, so fast paced. You can go through it in 4 days, and it's a thick boy, so that's saying something. All of the characters, it's an amazing cast. I love them all. My only kind of issue with this is that the second book, I went from really loving it to a period in the second third of the book where there was just nothing, and I was a little taken aback by that, but I still loved it, and I gave it, I think, an 8.5 or a 9 out of 10. So it's still a great book, and I'm so looking forward to this conclusion, so it has to be on the list. It just has to be. Coming in at number 8 is The Raven Cycle, and I really debated where to put this in my list, but number 8 seems like a good place for the Raven Boys. And yeah, what can I say about this book that every single YouTuber hasn't said already?
Booktuber.
But yeah, it's a great cast of characters, a very interesting plot. It kind of moves from time to time, but still the characters are so great that it's totally worth it.
Yes, there we go. That is my review.
If you haven't yet, go read The Raven Boys. Coming in at number 7 is my first manga, and that is Ao Haru Ride. Now, I picked this one up because I actually saw the anime, but there were only 12 episodes, and that's not even half of the story, so I just had to pick it up, and I loved it. Oh my god. I'm not one to read like super girly contemporary stories, but don't judge a book by its cover. That's what I learned from this one. It's so emotional, so well developed. I loved every single character. The friend group is incredible. I really like the main relationship in this manga, and I think anyone can read this and love it, which I feel like is amazing and doesn't happen really often. So yes, absolutely recommend you pick this one up. Even if you're not really into the contemporary romance mangas, I feel like you'd enjoy this one.
Also, if you pick it up, be prepared to cry. And laugh. But also cry.
Coming in at number 6 is everyone's favorite Heartstopper series by Alice Oseman. Now, I feel like this hasn't been blowing up on the internet lately, so there's really not that much to say. It's just a love story about two boys in England. Like, do I have to say anything else to make you like this? Look at the cover, it's beautiful, it's a graphic novel. You go through it so fast, you can read this in like an hour, and it's such an enjoyable hour. So do yourself a favor and pick this one up. I actually started reading this on Tapas. You can read it free online, so there's like literally nothing stopping you from reading this series, and I cannot stress this enough. I highly recommend it. It's incredible.
The art style is beautiful, the humor, it's perfect, and the friend group in this also like squad goals. Yeah, pick it up.
So now we are at the top 5, and coming in at number 5 is, some of you might be surprised by this, but it is the Heroes of Olympus series. I actually really debated where to put this one in the list, but number 5 just feels like a good solid place for it because I do love it and I love the characters, especially Percy, Annabeth, Nico, and sometimes when I'm in the mood, Leo Valdez. But yeah, if you're on my channel, you already know about this, so I don't really have to explain myself. So yeah, number 5, a good spot for this one. Coming in at number 4 is Haikyuu.
I always hold it the other way around.
By Haruchi Furudate. I hope I said that correctly, I'm sorry. But yeah, if you've been on the internet, you've probably at least seen like memes or videos about this series. It's a manga that was adapted into an anime, which I actually watched first, and then I loved it so much that I was like, I'm just gonna read the manga. And even though it's like so long, it is super worth it. Literally every single character you meet, you fall in love with them, and there's like 100 characters because you're not only going to love the main volleyball team, you're gonna love every single one of them, which is going to make watching their matches, their wins and their defeats like so much harder to watch, but so much like better.
At the same time, you enjoy suffering. It's that kind of series.
Yes, even if you don't enjoy volleyball, which I would say I'm kind of biased because I played volleyball in high school and I really liked it. So my friend who like doesn't do sports and doesn't do volleyball at all, she really loves this as well, so I think anyone can pick it up and enjoy it. And really, you should do yourself a favor and pick it up because even if you don't feel like reading through the manga, just watch the anime. It's beautiful and you will love every single character dynamic, I promise you. So, surprise, surprise, I got my numbers wrong again because I'm 21 and I don't know how to count. So coming in at the actual number 4 is, and this was a really hard choice that might surprise some of you, the Illuminae Files. And this had to be in number 4 because honestly, I love this book with all of my heart. I'm planning on rereading it every single year, but it had to be number 4 because it couldn't beat number 3, and that was like a very hard call to make. You'll see why later when I tell you what number 3 is, but honestly, I love the Illuminae one and I love Gemini, but Obsidio just kind of like didn't do it for me as much.
Just because I didn't love the main pair, I really missed seeing our other leads, and the story just didn't feel as big or impactful as the ones in the other 2 books did, but as a whole, I still love the series. I give the first 2 like definite 10 out of 10s, and the last one like maybe an 8 or 9 out of 10. So it's still like an A-grade series. But since that last one kind of brings it down, it had to be in number 4.
But still, pick this up. Please do yourself a favor. Then, coming in at number 3, you've probably guessed it, and that is the Six of Crows series. And
yes, I still only have the second book.
I ultimately decided to say that I like this one more than the Illuminate Files, just because overall I think this series is more cohesive, and it's like both of the books are like better. I don't know what to say. I feel like I really love Six of Crows more than Crooked Kingdom, but Crooked Kingdom is still great, and it has some amazing character moments. Plot twist. A plot twist I did not see coming.
And yeah, even though it's like not as good as the first one, it's still incredible, and I feel like because the series is overall like great, and the second book doesn't disappoint, I feel like that's what like took it a step above the Illuminate Files. Not that the Illuminate Files isn't great, it's just that this one overall is perfect, and the Illuminate Files, the whole series, it's kind of flawed, but this one, I should reread this one soon.
Okay, 2 books to go. Number 2 is...
when will I not do this?
Number 2 is Full Metal Alchemist by Hiromu Arakawa, and I've talked about this in other books. I just absolutely love it.
I love the 2 main characters with all of my heart. I love every single side character except obviously the bad guys, and even some of the bad guys I'm like, yeah, I love you too. But honestly, if you like I don't know how to sell you this. If you like good stories, amazing characters, well-written female characters, badass characters, cinnamon roll characters, great character dynamics, like, you have it all. I think, what would you call this? Like, sci-fi, but in the past with a little bit of magic, which is technically science in this universe? I don't know, just look at the cover and pick this up. And if you don't want to pick this up, at least watch the anime.
Very important, the Brotherhood version, because the 2003 version, we don't talk about her. At least not on this channel. No, we don't. Before we get to number 1, let's give some honorable mentions. First honorable mention is Rebel of the Sands by Alwyn Hamilton.
I really love this book series. I'm planning on rereading it soon because most of the details have like left my brain, so go pick this one up.
And then my second honorable mention is basically the Shadowhunter Chronicles.
The Mortal Instruments isn't my favorite book series, and also the Infernal Devices, really unpopular opinion, wasn't that great in my opinion. So, but I really liked I forget what they're called, the latest books she's coming out with. I really like them, and it's been like 10 years. I'm super attached to the characters, so whatever she comes up with, I'm gonna read it. So I thought that deserved an honorable mention. Even if the books are like God tier, still, they're trash tier, but like incredible trash tier. So it is what it is.
Then, my number 1 favorite series of all time. You probably haven't guessed what it is yet. Yes, it is the one and only Percy Jackson by Rick Riordan. Do I really have to explain myself?
I loved this one when I was 13. I loved it again when I reread it, like a week after, and then again when I reread it at 15, and then at 16, and then at 20, and then at 21. I still loved it. My love for it is still going pretty strong, and it's only getting stronger.
Especially in anticipation to the new Disney Plus adaptation, when like news come out about it, and when, oh my god, dare I say it, when the release date and the trailer drops, I am going to reread this book so hard and annotate it and do everything, because I'm going to enjoy these next couple of years with this coming out so much. And if you, for some like weird reason, are watching this video but have not read the Percy Jackson series, or at least The Lightning Thief, do yourself a freaking favor. Pick it up. It's a super quick read. If you want, you can read it in a day, but if you're a normal person, you can read it in 2 to 3 days. Whoever you are, wherever you are, you will enjoy this book. That is an Unclaimed demigod guarantee. So that's it. That was my top 10 favorite series of all time, and I hope you guys liked it. Please let me know down in the comments what your favorite book series or series are, and yeah, just leave a like, subscribe, hit that bell button so you get notifications every time I post. I post Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, so it's a lot of content for me, and yeah, I guess I'll see you guys next time. Bye!